That's it. I have to make one myself. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Spike's Picks. Now, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Recently, I've been watching a lot of 7-Eleven travel videos where they go into combinis inside of Japan and Taiwan. Primarily Japan, they have this sandwich on white bread with whipped cream and strawberries. That's the most basic iteration that I've seen. I've also seen some with other fruits in them. So I've never had one, and I want to see what all the fuss is about, because every travel vlog I've seen that goes into a Japanese kombini loves them. So I gathered the ingredients through curbside pickup, and I'm gonna make one today. So this is gonna be a kind of like a recipe video, and then I'm gonna review the sandwich and rate it at the end. So this is a cooking video, so I had to whip out one of my old work aprons, and yeah, let's get started. Alright, to make these sandwiches, you're going to need a few things. First of all, you're going to need some strawberries, fresh strawberries preferably. I guess you can use frozen and let them thaw out, but they're not going to taste as good in my opinion. So if you can, opt for fresh strawberries. Next, you're going to need 2 thick slices of white bread. I decided to go with multigrain just because I like multigrain a little bit better, and I didn't have white bread, so that's primarily the reason I didn't go with white bread. So next, you're going to need some Cool Whip, some whipping cream. I recommend going with the tub over the canned version, because the canned version is a little too aerated and it's not going to have the same fluffy effect as the stuff in the tub. I went with sugar-free just because I don't consume that much sugar in my diet, so sugar-free it is, to each their own. Then you're going to need either a tomato corer, a small paring knife, or a melon baller. I decided to go with a melon baller just because it's going to be a lot easier to get the stems off of the strawberries that way. And lastly, I recommend using a spatula so you can get the Cool Whip all nice and even on the bread, and a cutting board. And I like to put a placemat underneath my cutting board just in case so nothing slips, so we're going to go with that as well. So, okay, first you're going to want to take the tops off your strawberries. So for this step, definitely use your melon baller as so. Just kind of poke in there, little circle, and dispose. I have a little clear cup right here to dispose of my tops. And we're gonna go one by one and do each and every single one of these. Now, I prefer a tomato corer. I just don't have one because I feel like the melon baller gets rid of way too much of the strawberry, but that's another issue. So yeah, let's finish off the rest of these. Okay, next you're gonna want to get your first slice of bread, like so. And you're going to want to start putting a lot of that whipped cream on the bottom. Just kind of evenly lay it out. You're going to end up cutting the crusts anyway, so don't worry about getting it too close to the rim. It's actually beneficial because you're going to end up with a more even, clean product at the end once you cut this sandwich in half. And yeah, a little bit more, because the ones I've seen in those 7-Eleven combinis, they have quite a bit of whip, so we're going to whip it up. Alright. That looks like a good amount. Okay, next you're going to want to start layering your strawberries. From all the videos I've seen, they layer them diagonally and they don't cut them in half, so that's what we're going to do here. So we're just going to set them whole. And these are some huge ones that I picked out, so maybe 2 will be enough. Maybe I'll do some smaller ones. Yeah, I'll do some smaller ones. This one's way too big. I'll save it for later. We'll do 3 small ones in the center, like so. Then we'll save the big ones for the edges right there. There's one and another. Boom. There's a gap right here, but that's fine. We're just gonna go with it because these strawberries are massive. Now for the second layer, you're gonna add some more of that Cool Whip. A whole lot more. You're gonna fill up those crevices in between the strawberries. And yeah, we're gonna get it all nice, whippy, and delicious. There's a lot of whip. It's probably the most whip I've ever used in my entire life, but yeah, we're gonna go with it, kombini style. This would be a sandwich that would be good enough to satisfy Weiss, and maybe he would let me train with him. Who knows? But we're gonna see. We're gonna see at the end of this. Okay. Then you're gonna top it off with your last piece of bread, like so. Boom. That's looking pretty good. Okay, and one of the last things you're going to want to do is saran wrap your sandwich. Keep in mind where you made the line of strawberries, because that's going to be essential for the cutting process later. So let's go ahead and wrap her up in saran wrap. And you're gonna want to put this in the fridge for an hour at least to chill. After the hour, we'll come back, cut off the crusts, and then cut it diagonally, and we'll see how we did. So. All right, now we got our sandwich out of the fridge, and you see this line that I made with Sharpie? That is gonna be our cut line right there. That is where the strawberries are lined up to get a better looking product at the end. So let's open this up. Remember where our cross line is, and cut the crusts off because who likes crusts? Okay, we got our knife. Let's start cutting the crust off this baby. Alright, we're all done with the process and making the sandwich and everything. I'm okay with how it turned out. I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist, so I'm not 100% happy with the presentation. But overall, it looks pretty good. But will it taste good? That's what we're here for. See what all the hype is about. It's going to be a little bit different because it is on multigrain wheat. And yeah, but look at this. Look at the size of this thing, man. And they're usually a little bit thinner in the Japanese combinis, but we're going big. We're in Texas, so yeah, here we go. Cheers, guys. Once again, the Japanese know exactly what they're doing. Now, it's just so good, and I think the multigrain bread set it off even more because the multigrain bread has a certain sweetness to it. It has texture. The sugar-free whip, it complements the strawberries very well, so it's not overpoweringly sweet. The strawberries themselves are a little tart. They're not completely sweet either, so that helps balance out the flavors as well, because if the strawberries were overly sweet, the whip was sweet, and then the bread was like a honey wheat bread, it might be a little bit overkill, but the balance of flavors and acidities is perfect in this. I'm really digging it. I was very, very skeptical at first because bread, whip, and I mean, I guess when you think about it, it's not that weird because there are like strawberry tarts and the cake, the breading, it's pretty similar. So it's not too far-fetched. What it did remind me of, if anybody's ever had an ice cream sandwich on actual bread, I know it sounds weird, but it's very delicious. This reminds me of that as well. So I'm gonna have to give this a high 9 out of 10. I couldn't eat a whole sandwich, maybe a quarter or a half. That's why I'm not giving it a 10. But it's absolutely delicious, very easy to make, and all the ingredients are readily available at any supermarket. So I highly recommend you guys try this combination and see why all the fuss about this sandwich is at Japanese combinis. So there you have it, guys. It's been another episode of Spike Reviews. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you're notified every time I drop a brand new video. Wash your hands and love each other. Peace.